Mike Bennett, ex-Airforce Air Commodore. My previous job before I left was Director General Strategy and Planning in Air Force. Just introduced the Air Command Capability Framework, which is a strategic management system for Air Command, which basically ties in risk management all the way through to prioritisation, operating from the base level in Air Command up to the Air Commander himself, linking data. We've tried several attempts at getting this right. We discovered that if you don't get the sponsorship at the right level in the first instance, the project is likely to fail. With the Air Commander on side as the project sponsor, this was the first step in a successful project. Getting the skills in place for the team is critically important. Being from a large organisation, a lot of those skills are inherent, but getting the right business supporting you to drive the necessary changes is also critical.
Chris LaGrange, I'm the Business Information Manager for Kiwibank. I presented a story about the first analytical proof of value exercise that we conducted at Kiwibank, looking at customers who had a home loan with another bank and applying some statistical models and a new means of contacting those customers in order to try and bring them across to Kiwibank. The major insight we took from the exercise we went through at Kiwibank was that oftentimes the initial leadership idea or proposition isn't actually the right one, and you need to be open to adjusting not just the work and the project and the plan, but actually also taking the premise that you're operating under and revisiting that. From a leadership standpoint, that means your leaders need to be as willing to test and learn and as willing to experiment as the rest of the team. The skill sets are fundamental to success and also probably the most difficult thing to put together. So there's not a lot of big data skills in New Zealand today. Analytical skills are difficult to find as well. Our approach was to take people who had the right other skills, so people who were smart, people who were capable, people who could understand banking, understand our business, and knew the people that they needed to work with, and to teach them a lot of the technical skills and to actually bring them up to speed where we needed to. And also to bring in external expertise for some areas where there was just no way we were going to learn. We needed a PhD in statistics to do the modelling, so we hired in a PhD with the right skills to come in and assist us through the process. So it's really about building up your core skills, but knowing that it's not just knowing how to code and knowing how to work in Hadoop and knowing how to build analytics frameworks. It's also a lot of the business change skills that you need to go with that as well. I think a lot of organizations really would benefit from taking more of a scientific method to the endeavors into information management and analytics. It's about coming up with a hypothesis, doing the research and the data analysis to test that hypothesis, constructing some experiments, which can be market experiments to see whether that hypothesis is valid, and actually being willing to throw that hypothesis out and try again if the experiments and the data don't actually support the hypothesis. I mean, that's the fundamental of the scientific method, and I think it's why a lot of organizations fail. In most organizations, instead, we come up with an idea, we write a business case, we execute a project. The project may use iterations, but the original idea that the business case is based on is never changed. And I think that's, it doesn't work when you're innovating, when you're trying to experiment, when you're doing something that's new for the organization. You need to continuously adapt. I think the scientific method is built fundamentally around that principle.